Esprezzo. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for hanging in there. It's been a fun night. Thank you all the fellow presenters. My name is Remy Carpinito, and I'm the founder and CEO of Esprezzo. Our goal is to build the developer's bridge to blockchain. As we know from many different presentations, and that was a great last presentation, there's a big opportunity in the blockchain space and the underlying technology of cryptocurrency. One kind of high-level concepts here, trying to cut costs, removing intermediaries. It's immutable and secure. And as we look at an enterprise business context, is this what this graph is pointing to? Deloitte conducted a study last year where it's pretty clear that 95% of companies are going to be investing in blockchain technology. And there's unfortunately some problems that kind of are burdening the technology at this point in time. Blockchain, as Frank from Tunnel pointed out, programming with blockchain is a little bit less scalable than today's centralized systems. New skills and, more importantly, architecture types are needed in order to build applications that are going to be able to serve the end consumer. And the biggest issue is the majority of blockchain jobs are going unfulfilled. An interesting stat LinkedIn just reported just a few months ago is the blockchain development market has grown 33 times in the last 12 months. So there's a huge demand for the jobs, but 93% of those jobs are going unfulfilled. So our goal is to enable all developers to be able to interface and build blockchain-enabled technology. And we're doing that through a really simple opportunity where we want to cut the need to manage the architecture. So we are automating about 70% of the software stack and presenting a very lightweight, nimble API and a set of other tools, which I'll get into in a moment, to make it really easy to connect a newer and existing app to the blockchain. And ultimately what that means from a business standpoint is you don't need to manage the infrastructure. You don't need a DevOps engineer that on average costs about $150,000 per year. We can reduce your development cost from a kind of the amount of systems you need to use or integrate with, as well as expedite your application's time to market as well. So our core offering kind of represents three key areas that we're focusing on. The first being a unified data store. One thing that's really interesting when developing blockchain-based applications is that it's not your standard database. So you don't just want to dump every piece of data onto the blockchain. You actually want to limit what's on the blockchain and have an off-chain or in-memory-based data storage system that maintains performance and scalability, and we offer that out of the box. One of the big things we're focusing on is a really easy and plug-and-play API. Think about what Stripe did to payments, we're trying to do to the blockchain. So you can literally, off the shelf, plug it in, pull the functions you need to integrate with, push pieces of your data on or off chain. And the other big thing is kind of templatized applications or smart contracts. So you don't need to write new syntaxes like Solidity from scratch, or you don't need to build your application from scratch. We'll provide the scaffolding so you can bring that product to market faster. So some product use cases, you can tokenize things like assets. People have been mentioning security tokens. You can deploy security token smart contracts directly through our platform with no code. If you want to launch a non-fungible token or say a digital collectible, the CryptoKitties is one popular one that's come to mind over the years. We actually are building an application template that will allow you to deploy a non-fungible token. And the biggest one that we see opportunity is connecting existing applications leveraging our API to the blockchain. So I want to highlight a few different things here. We've deployed a handful of products so far. Perkle is just a fork of Ethereum. It's not better, it's not faster. It's pure proof of work, Geth, or Go Ethereum. And that's been live since October. We've built an app, leveraging our API, we've built a few different applications. The one I'm going to show you tonight is a chatbot in Discord. Discord is probably one of the most popular messaging services for gaming. So with that, you can actually send crypto around, and I want to show you how simple it is to use our API to build out a lightweight tool such as a chatbot. I'll also be highlighting how the chatbot interfaces with our API and connects to our own in-house multi-chain block explorer, which is an essential tool when interfacing with crypto or blockchain-based applications to see transaction status, addresses, etc. So let's hop out to Discord. And here, there's a bunch of different things you can call. So you can type in stats. You'll get real-time network activity. So this is pulling directly through our WebSocket-based connection through our API. So this is all real-time data. Then I can go ahead and look at my balance. So I can type in, sorry, it's a little bit. You can get some information. You get a direct ping from the chatbot, be able to get that in real time. And then I can go ahead and even send some crypto around very simply. So I can come back here and say, let's see. So this is going to be sending to my co-founder over in California. So that's going to create one Perkle, and let's go ahead and jump out to our Block Explorer and see that transaction in real time. So if we're looking at the Block Explorer, you can see this last transaction that came through. Let's go over to transactions. Let's see that one Perkle was sent, successfully sent. Real time, we just sent crypto across the world, and fully owned custody is in place here. So I literally send my crypto to someone else without any intermediary on a full proof of work blockchain, which is pretty cool. As in, how many people have seen a full-blown crypto transaction before? Handful of people. How many through a chat bot? None? We learned something tonight. Cool. That's all I got. Thank you. Questions? Yep.
Is this a blockchain platform as a service it offers?
In a sense, it's very similar to like Firebase. So think about Firebase for the blockchain. So we have an API, a data store, and a set of tools that sit above that that you can plug and play.
It can be applicable to any. Can I do a Bitcoin transfer peer-to-peer?
Right now, we support the Ethereum network and Perkle. We will be supporting things like Bitcoin, even things that are tokenless like Hyperledger for different types of applications. One of the things I didn't mention about the API is that it's blockchain agnostic. So one of the things we want to allow developers is freedom of choice. I think it's a bit early to pick the winners of the protocol battle right now, but hypothetically in the future, you will be able to plug into the Bitcoin network as well.
So, just a follow-up on that.
Yep.
So I don't need to go through Coinbase. That's like exchange. Is that where you're heading?
Yeah, well, and we're not necessarily trying to create applications to enable that, but if someone wanted to leverage our API to create an exchange of sorts, they absolutely could, and they could get to market faster with that product. We don't build the applications necessarily. We offer some templates that can get them there quicker, though.
Not to build an exchange, but to transfer money between cryptocurrencies between people without having to go through an exchange.
So hypothetically, like using the chatbot, if that was connected to a Bitcoin network and someone had that plugged into a channel, you could leverage it that way. So there's different ways to interface and exchange crypto through the application itself.
So is the pricing model similar to the Firebase pricing model?
Exactly. There'll be a big freemium tier. We're about to open up our private beta. That's going to be announced pretty soon. So definitely.
It's based on the bandwidth or the number of transactions?
Number of calls to the API. It'll be very linear. They'll try to keep it as free as possible
Not
for as
on
long as
the
possible.
value of the transaction.
No, not on the value. Nope.
Can you explain a little bit more? Because I'm very interested in being blockchain agnostic and how
Yeah.
your API works on multiple different algorithms.
Yeah. So we're creating a backend library that's kind of making those functions agnostic ultimately. Then we're presenting an SDK library so you can pick the languages you want to code in, and then those calls will handle the calls in the backend. So out of the gates, that's why we're kind of focusing on Ethereum and our own fork of Ethereum. It's a bit cheaper to actually build against, use our own. And then in the future, we'll continue to kind of track upstream. So we're partnered with like Dragon Chain and Go Chain and some additional blockchains we support. And then in the future, Hyperledger, Bitcoin, et cetera.
In this model, whose responsibility are regulations like know your customer?
Yeah, so if someone were to build a custody solution or something like that, it would be on the actual end, the developer building the application or the company supporting that application. So very similar to like the Firebase model there. Yep. Cool. Thank you all so much.